boys, Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Well boys, I have to apologize to you because I was kind of into this project a little bit before I realized I didn't have the camera turned on. So anyways, what I was up to today was I was putting an airline over at my mechanical bench, and I had an airline there before, but when I reworked the shop and the bench and everything, I never really reconnected that line. So that's what we're up to today. And where I'm picking up the project after I turned the camera on was I had made a little backer board for a regulator, a water separator, and an oiler kind of a manifold set up there. So anyways, I got that on the backer board, and I've even painted the backer board before I mounted that. So that's where we're going to pick this one up. Let's go have a look, see how we finished off this project. So there's my layout so far. I don't have the strap on here. I need to connect the line, but doesn't look that bad. And I'm thinking I'm going to put that right about here, just at eye height. Try it there anyways. There. Now I just get my plumber strap now, make a strap to go there, and when I run my new line here, strap that off. We'll be good to go, I think, eh? Easy to get at. So I'm going to put a shut-off valve here on this line too, eh? And I'm going to put it on with, I have PEX crimp rings. I'm going to soften this up a little bit with my heat gun. And then this should push in here now. Something like that. Set that PEX ring just right there. Probably couldn't see much what was going on there. And then I have my crimpers here. And now usually that makes a good airtight seal. And I hope it still does. Something like so. This line is a little bit too long for my liking, so I think I'll shorten it. So now I have to take this crimp ring off. So in order to get the crimp rings off, there's little protrusions there that seal the edges, seal the strap together. So you just hook your pliers in, your side cutters in on those. You can twist them up a little bit like so. Yeah, and then they just open up and you can pull them off, eh? Can't reuse them though. So I have another crimp ring here. We'll put that on there. A little more heat. And then this should slide in here, just like that. Put that crimp ring out here and then turn it down, out of the way. And then put my crimpers on it again. About like that. There, that looks better, eh? So now I can turn my air on and off here. Like I say, I'm going to have some pipe straps on there. And then my air line will go here back to the main trunk line in the shop. Alright, now what we have to do is cut this air line here, the blue one, put a T in there. Should be easy to do, eh? This airline has no air pressure in it, so we can just cut her like that. I've got a couple of crimp rings that we're going to use on the blue line, because these PEX crimp rings work on the blue line, but not on the red airline. So we're going to put that on there. and that on there. And I have a T-fitting, a barbed T-fitting. So that's going to go in here. And in here. This is just a T-fitting that I had back here. I'm just putting it up here now. And then on the rubber hose I have a gear clamp. And then this is going to go on here. Alright, now we're going to put that squeeze crimp on here, and this one on here. So I'm just going to put a little heat on these so that when I tighten them up, they'll have a better chance of making a good airtight grip, I hope. Alright, we'll crimp this guy. And then this guy. Screw gun here to tighten this one up. There. And just like that, we've got our line connected now, going over to the workbench. So I'm going to run that along that floor joist and then down the wall and cut it off and tie it in over at the manifold that I installed in the wall. And we should be ready to pressure this thing up and see how it works. So I just finished running the line across the beam there, and I put some of my homemade pipe clamps. And I put some of my homemade pipe clamps on it there to hold it. So now we're going to bring it down here. I like to bring it down kind of nice and straight. And then bring that around into there. So that's probably about as far as long as I need this hose to be. Because this is the rubber hose, I'm going to use a gear clamp on it. So we'll put that in there. Put that on there so I won't forget it, right? And then we're going to put this in here. And then we're going to pull this gear clamp down into there. Put it around here like that. Put it at the back. Why not, right? That way it's not in the way of the valve when I try to open or close it. Alright, let's tighten this up. Okay, so that's that. Now I want to put some hose clamps on here to hold this in place. So we're going to try and keep this as straight as we can. Right about there, maybe. Okay, we have one clamp I want to put up here. Do you think we need a third one? I think, because that's kind of floppy, isn't it? Why not put one in here? Right about there. All right, so I made up these little clips to go right on here. I think we're ready to put the air on it. So I'm going to go over there and turn the air on. You guys stay here and listen for leaks. So I don't hear any leaks here in this manifold, but I do hear a leak up there at that T. So we're going to go up and investigate that one. So the leak is on this coupler here. And what I did was I used gear clamps on this, and I'm going to take those gear clamps off, take the coupler apart, I'm going to put the crimp clamps on with my PEX connector, see if that makes a difference. So I shut the air off and it's drained down now, so I can pull this apart. Oh, yeah, there we go. Take that gear clamp off of there. We can put this crimp clamp on here. So we're going to set that right about like that and crimp it. And then the trick is get this crimp clamp on here. And then we put this back together here. Slide that into position and crimp it. There we go. That's that. We'll see how, if that leaks now, I'm going to put the air back on. Okay, so the air's back on and I don't hear any leaks up there. Kind of like that. So I have this, the leftover part of that hose line that I ran across here. And the pressure's on here. We have it set at 95, I think. That kind of wobbles on there. I don't know, that might be good, might be bad. Might leak after a while. But not terrible. That's one good thing about the these PEX fittings, or using that hard plastic PVC hose. Once it makes the air tight connection, they can kind of swivel without it leaking. But it probably will leak over time. So I've got my impact wrench in it. Interesting, now this is, the gauge is up to 100, and when I pull the trigger it drops back to 75. But it works, that's the main thing, eh? So there's a nice rainy day project completed, eh? I got my new airline run over here, and I've got a manifold set up with a regulator and an on-off switch here, an on-off valve. And also it's been holding pretty steady here at 100 psi, so I don't think there's any leaks. So that's nice. I'm going to enjoy having pneumatics at my mechanical workbench. Now, don't ever forget, folks, this is not a how-to channel. I'm no expert, that's for sure. I don't mean to say this is the ideal way to run pneumatics in your shop. It certainly is not. There's lots of better ways to do it, I'm sure. I don't want anyone to think that what I'm showing you here is the best way to do it. It's just the way I do it here in the woods at the camp. So enjoy. It's for entertainment purposes only. Don't ever forget that. And speaking of entertainment, how about give me some thumbs up, make me feel good too. Have a great week, folks, wherever you are, and take care. We'll talk to you soon.